It's time for one of the shortest Target Series races of the season. It's at the Chicagoland Speedway, the Sunoco 200 under the lights. And on the pole is the 9 of Justin Knight, who's outside the 51 of Steve Larker. Then 30 of Jake Galloway, 4th is Charles Robert, and rounding out the top 5 you have Stephen Baker. Then 6th you have Diego Yepez. 7th is William Bullen, then 8th you have TJ Hanley, William Seaman in 9th, and Isaac Nichols rounds out the top 10. The rest of the field is Bill Seaman in the 98 with Jeff Bright in the 1. Then there's Marshall Burrow and Sebastian Chicagoland. They have Michael Sanders and Eli Bright, Andrew Miller and Code Luigi. Then there's Jonathan Beeford, your points leader, and Alexander Romeo 72 is outside. They have Jonathan Wong and Carson Bowers, Riley Spurleytube and Alex Stewart. Then there's Landon Lyons and Adam McDowell, Jay Jefferson and Luke Rainey. Then there's Joey Trickle and Anthony Lehman, Matt Hamill and Danny Lloyd. They have Michael Cantle and Colton Yo, Max Anderson and Clayton Thomas. Then there's Lawrence Palapont and Johnny Gardner, Gustavo Rocha and Greg Lee. And in the final row, you have Trey Rain in the 18, Jennifer Buford in the 62. 2 is outside. For a 42-car starting lap here at the Chicagoland Speedway, let's get going with the starting command.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
All right, boys, pace and rhythm all day today. Driver's compartment, crew chief, pit crew. Pace and rhythm all day, that's all we need.
And the 42 cars are off the starting grid to start the Sunoco 200 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Only 21 laps. It's a short, quick race. Aggression going to be big. Could see 3, maybe even 4 wide madness, and some pretty big crashes as well have happened here in the past Chicago. And more races than not here have been decided by less than a car length. We'll see if that can happen again here tonight. Pace car in. Knight on the front row. 2's outside is the 51 Steve Larker. Into the restarts on the come. The 9 steps on the gas. We're racing here at Chicago. Three wide, lap 1. Knight goes up the track, into the wall a little bit, and down low Stephen Baker trying to lead lap 1 side by side. Galloway gets it by the nose. 19 car leads lap 1, and they're going 3 wide in the pack, 3 wide for the race lead. William Bullen to the inside in the 74, looking low. The double zero, William Seaman behind him, and Bill Seaman behind him. Now down the backstretch, Seaman looks to make it 3 wide, that double zero car. Alrighty, 3 at the front, double foul on back. They come through 3 and 4. Does Bill Seaman make it 4 wide this early on? That would be a dangerous move to play right here. Baker into the wall hard in the 23, slows at the top. Bill Seaman gets down the apron with Marshall Burrow. Can they come back up? Seaman still low. To the apron he goes. Slows the inside lane up. 3 cars get away. It's William Seaman side by side with Bullen and Steve Larker. Those 3 get away. 4th and back gets shuffled up because of the 98. Steve Larker is still side by side. So he's going for this race lead through 3 and 4. Marshall Burrow for 4th. Baker into the wall again, the 23. Looks a little tight. Steve Larker at the stripe leads. Bullen back to the inside of the 74. He's looking for this race lead. Gets the 2nd. He's digging around the white line. Here comes Isaac Nichols in the 7 with Charles Robert behind him. Jonathan Beeford, your points there, force 3 wide in the middle lane. William Bullen side by side as they hit turn 3. Charles Robert looks 3 wide for 3rd. Back there, 4 wide. Go into the wall. Contact. Stewart down to the apron. Almost in the grass. He had contact with Bowers. Can he come back up without causing an accident? Exactly what Bill Seaman did. He keeps it straight. A little sideways there, but keeps it going straight. They sell the 4 wide down. Double foul at the front. 3 wide a little bit further back in the pack. So up in the race lead, it's Isaac Nichols in the 7. Just got around the 74 Bullen. Charles Robert gets the 2nd. He's looking for this race lead now. Baker in the 23 once again just knocked the fence down off of 4. 23 car looks very tight. Look at this 3 wide. 2 teammates. Yepez in the middle lane. Burrow looking down low. For the race lead. Robert down Nichols. Side by side trying to get that side draft down the backstretch. This battling will allow 3rd on back to close it in the draft. They're also battling for 3rd, which is going to really stall any advantage they're going to get for them being side by side for the race lead. Knight in the 9 may have clip the wall a little bit. Robert gets clear. Nichols going to look back for the crossover, though. To the inside goes in the 7. Marshall Burrow might try and gain right here. Look at them stacked up. Carson Bowers and Bill Seaman almost rubbing and banging off each other. Yepez up top 3 wide. Adam McDowell. Alex Stewart was down the grass a few laps ago. He got that car going straight. Now here he is inside the top 10. Contact. Seaman up into Yepez. 0 car to the wall. Bowling gets damaged. Who else is in it? We keep it straight. No yellow flag. The second pack has been slowed. Bowling and Yepez. Hard damage. And their chances to win may have just evaporated. Bowling has pretty heavy front and rear damage. Yepez has some pretty side and rear damage. And now this pack getting slowed up. And now we have 2 packs. Meanwhile, Nichols comes through the smoke in 3 and 4 to lead. Bowers on back to Buford, your points leader in 13th. Then 14th, 15th, 16th right here. And then 17th on back are in a mess trying to get up to this front 16 car pack, which has gotten pretty single filed out. Nichols leads, Robert second. McDowell going for third. We're almost halfway through this race already. We said it's a short race. It's proving it. 3 wide, Steve Larker for second. There's Wong, Lloyd, Bright, Arocha trying to catch up to that front, about 12 car pack at the front. And then 17th on back, really trying to close. And they have some pretty big packs, so I wouldn't put it past them to get up here. You can see the 74 and 0 both falling back to the back of that train. Oh, up here they're going 4 wide. Bill Seaman, Luke Rainey, and McDowell. Charles Robert gets in the wall. Seaman sideways in the grass. Contact from Luke Rainey. Coming through the grass, coming back up. Saves the car, keeps it going straight. Luke Rainey keeps going straight as well. Great driving by those drivers, but it's definitely slowed their pack up. And here comes the 21 getting the draft. 0-1, 48-1, going to try and catch up as well. Still 3 wide. Seaman in the middle. Luke Rainey gets shuffled up. Contact almost made. Oh, Robert into the wall pretty hard. Lucky Bowers did not get to the back of him. There's the dust, the dirt. 10 laps to go. Lloyd has caught up in the 21. He's in this draft now. He's in the pack. Make it 13 cars. Could be 14, 15, 16 soon. Jeff Bright, Rocha, and Wong can get caught up. Up front, McDowell for second on Steve Larker, excuse me. Ooh, almost contact there. They're sliding up. We'll see him up the track in the 98. He knocks down the wall a little bit. Side by side for second. Nichols loves what he's seeing. Just trying to pull away. He's dominated so far tonight. No one has really touched him. Come down to money time. Here comes Luke Rain in the 22. William Seaman in the 00. There's the 39 coming up of Lawrence Palampon. Alex Stewart still up here in the 46. Luke Rain still trying to grab third. A little tight down low. 3 wide further back. But that may be the 4 Marshall Burrow. Bill Seaman got into the wall again, the 98 car. 8 laps of racing to go in the Sunoco 200. 16 cars at the front, led by Nichols. Caution's out! This will change everything. Big crash! Johnny Gardner, Stephen Baker, Michael Canto, Trey Ray Lyons. There's your pole sitter. There's Gold Luigi. Max Anderson, maybe Jake Gow, and a yellow flag that front pack did not want to see. It was going to come down to those 16 cars. Now we get to re-rack it. We get to sort it back out. Nichols leads us back to the caution flag. And the dominant car of the day, gonna have to deal with a late race restart after a big crash coming off of turn number 4, and I guess it was probably due to about 3, 4 wide, maybe even shoveling up. So many cars with damage. Jeffrey Buford has damage. Max Anderson, Code Luigi I saw with some pretty heavy damage. We'll see how this happened. 4 wide, this is how it started. You see right there, TJ Hanley makes a 4 wide move. Greg Lee in the middle, along with Johnny Gardner. Riley Sprague is up top, and Gardner trying to keep it off. Sprague 2 can't get that done. They make contact in the wall. They go. Canto gets spun down into Stephen Baker. There's the damage those two receive. Look at some of the drivers going through the middle. Jennifer Buford hits the 14 hard. There's the 99 coming up again, the 42 and the 18. Who I think the 42 may have gotten lifted up off the ground and all that. Code Luigi. Big crash on the front stretch, taking out some competitors. There's right there, 99 came up and got the 42, got up onto the safety barrier. Luckily, did not go upside down. The car came back down onto the ground, but tough break for Code Luigi and everyone who was involved. Justin Knight started on pole, he fell back, and then he got stuck behind when all the stuff happened. He was 40th, just laying back possibly, and got involved. He just got caught. Nothing Knight could really do here. He got into the wall a few times, so he may have been slower there, and you see the crash and went through the middle. He thought he saw an opening, but opening closed very quickly. Knight involved with some heavy damage. Yepes and Bolin came on by, and Knight's teammate, Isaac Nichols, with the race leads, dominated the second half of this race, but now it's going to be a lights race restart. Can the 7 Nichols hold off McDowell and the others behind? It's now going to be the whole pack that has a shot at this victory. Only 3 laps of racing to go left in the Sunoco 200 to crown a winner. Michael Canto, Jennifer B for the 2 cars that have retired. There will be 40 cars left on the racetrack. Going to try and pick up some points off of damaged cars. So Nichols has dominated this race. Can he hold on and win from the number 1 restarting position? Adam McDowell is in 2nd, Luke Rainey 3rd, William Seaman 4th, and Lawrence Palpon in 5th. Steve Larker 6th, Alex Stewart 7th, Carson Bowers 8th, Charles Robert 9th, and Jonathan Beeford, your points leader, rounds out the top 10. We had mentioned how Jonathan Wong, Bill Seaman were going to be the last cars that had a shot in 16th, but Jay Jefferson on back, 17th on back, have caught back up. They have a shot as well. Nichols into the restart zone. 3 laps left here at Chicagoland. Nichols gets going. McDowell, though, has a great restart. Who makes the move? It's going to be Luke Rainey, will be McDowell. They stay in line for now. Rainey looking a little bit lower in the 22 car. Knows he has to make a pass on McDowell now to have a shot. There comes the 2.5 laps to go. And down the backstretch, still side by side for a second. McDowell's the run off the top side and the draft from the 7 car. But can he get clear? No. Luke Rainey stays down there. That's exactly what Nichols wants to see. Side by side for a second. Luke Rainey's going to take in the 22. We're coming to see only 2 laps left. 3 miles left. Will be Nichols, Rainey, Palmpon, Seaman, Bowers, somebody else. Luke Rainey trying to fend off Lawrence Palmpon. They make a 4 wide behind for 4th. 4 wide down the backstretch. McDowell gets to the wall. Gets into Seaman. They keep it going straight. We're still racing. We're coming to the white flag. Nichols is out front in the dominant car. Lawrence Palmpon go for 2nd in the 39. Bowers is 4th to the white flag. 1 last lap. And the Sunoco 200, it's Nichols out front, being chased by Palmpon and others. 3 Camaros at the front, led by Nichols. As they keep battling for 2nd, this is exactly what the 7 car wants to see. Down the backstretch for the final time. Off into turn number 3. Nichols with a good enough gap. Side by side for 2nd. Through 3 and 4. They slide up. Some contact made for 2nd. It's all happening by Isaac Nichols, who powers off a 4. Nichols dominates the Sunoco tournament to win. And that was a frantic dash to the finish. They could not get sorted out 2nd on back, and Nichols just held the lead. He pulled away, and he wins the Sunoco 200 here at Chicagoland. Let's now go check the finish results. Here are the finish results from the Sunoco 200 at the Chicagoland Speedway. There's 1 caution fight for 4 laps, and 6 lead change among 5 different drivers, as Isaac Nichols brings home number 1, leading 16 of the 21 laps, dominating performance out of that 7 car. Carson Bowers ends up 2nd, Charles Robert in 3rd, Lawrence Palmpon 4th, and Danny Lloyd rounds up the top 5. They have Luke Rainey in 6th, William Seaman in 7th, Marshall Burrow in 8th, Gustavo Rocha 9th, and Alex Stewart rounds up the top 10. There's your top 20. Points leader Jonathan Beeford finishes 19th right where he started, but he loses some points to Lawrence Palmpon, who's closed into only a couple of points for this points lead. 21st to 40th, only about, I would say, Eli Bright on up that were up to speed due to some crash damage. Sprague Tube, Galloway, Luigi. There's your poles here. Justin Knight, 32nd. Didn't even lead a lap. Bolin led 2 laps, but was involved with the peasant accident. They gained some spots off that big crash. Down 2 cars retired, Jennifer Beeford and Michael Canto. Now let's go look at the point standings. 7 races in, and here are the point standings. Jonathan Beeford keeps that points lead, but Lawrence Palmpon is closing into only 5 points behind. Palmpon is 2nd. Danny Lloyd is up to 3rd. William Seaman is 4th, and Gustavo Rocha rounds up the top 5. Andrew Miller is 6th. Joey Trickle in 7th. Steve Larker in 8th. Eli Bright in 9th, and Anthony Lehman rounds up the top 10. There's your top 20 currently. The drivers in the chase to be the top 10 points, and Adam McDowell with a wild card spot, and Jake Galloway as well. Nichols moved up to 16th with that victory. Matt Hamill, another winner, is 17th. So 4 of our winners this season are outside top 10 and inside the top 20. That could be a pretty interesting dash to get a wild card spot. Alex Stewart, the other winner of the season, is down 22nd in the points. He has to get above 20th to use that victory as a wild card. Here are the rest of the points. We look ahead to our next race, which is another 1.5 mile track. It'll be at Texas for the Ford 300. I'll see you guys then.